Time for another gear review. So I haven't bought all the guns I pretty much wanted. I don't have many, but you know me. I like my Sigs. I like my Rock Rivers. I have a couple Rugers. I feel pretty good. I've been stockpiling ammo. So I've been moving on to a more holistic approach to preparedness. So I've been getting into communications lately. You got to shoot, move, and communicate. And you'll see some of my other reviews about gear lightening up, things like that. But today we're talking about communications. So without further ado, these are the top two radios that came to my mind or came up when I started doing my research as far as communications. What you have is the VX-7R and the VX-8G. For those of you who don't know, the VX-8 has a big brother, the 8DR. We'll get into that a little bit. I might actually do a specific video on the VX-8DR versus the 8GR. I have a friend that bought the 8DR. Just so you know where I'm coming from, I personally bought the 8G, and another friend who loaned this radio to me bought the 7R. So there's some bias there. Every video has bias. That's the one that I think's best. I'll put it up front right there. But that's just me. There's benefits to both. So let's talk about the radio component first. This is kind of what bugs me about the Yaesu model line, because the 7R actually has a better radio component to it. The receive is from 0.5 megahertz to 99 megahertz, blocks out the cellular, and the transmit, let me grab my notes here. The transmit is from 50 to 54, and that's your 6 meter band. 144 to 148 is your 2 meter, 2 meter. 222 to 225, which is your 1.25 meter, and 430 to 450. In other words, it's quad bander, guys. The 8GR, on the other hand, is a dual bander. And the receive. I personally don't care about the quad bander. I'm happy with the 2 meter and the 70 centimeter bands. But what I do miss in the 8R is your receive. It goes, instead of 0.5 megahertz, its lowest is 108 megahertz to basically 1,000 megahertz. So your HF range, you can't receive. It's not a great all-around receiver. But to me, the constraints of a handheld unit lends itself to line of sight. Even in the 6 meter band, you're pretty limited to a line of sight. The true exponential factor for these is your repeater networks throughout the states and international. And what you won't find, even though this has a 6 meter band, you do not find many 6 meter repeaters. So like here in Utah, there's like 3, and they're in the metropolitan area. So I have had these quad band, and I just haven't seen the benefit for a handheld having that 6 meter band. It's nice, yeah, sure, but we'll get into the other factors that really set this apart from this. As far as radios go, 7R beats the 8R as far as radio functionality. I'm going to do a video here in a few minutes about the free band mods or transmit modifications to these. Let me just do some specs here. After doing the mod on the 8R, I picked up 140 megahertz to 174 megahertz, which is nice. That has your marine channels. It has your like your civil service bands, like some of your sheriff networks. We also have some military networks here that operate in the 140s. So this does everything that I need personally and professionally. However, what the 7R picks up when you do the mod is 40 megahertz to 225 megahertz and 300 megahertz to 580 megahertz. I'll show you that so you can see it. So there's the mod on the 8R, and these are the frequencies on the 7R. The nice thing about the 7R is you have some scene guards channels in there. So if you're operating downrange, Afghanistan training exercises, you might be able to, I mean, it's not going to have your frequency hop or your cipher, but in your clear voice, plain text clear voice, you might be able to transmit into some of the scene guards frequencies. Make sure you are legally able to do so. Talk radio real quick. Let's talk weight. In its standard configuration, the 8G is actually lighter than the 7R. However, because of the added features of the GPS and the APRS, the standard battery comes with 1100 milliamp. I don't know if you can see the difference there. 1100 milliamp battery. You'll blow through this in about 4 to 6 hours, depending on your usage. With the GPS on, APRS, beaconing, whatnot, you're not going to get a whole day out of this. So buy the 1800 milliamp, and your weight factor is grand total. 7R is 8.5 ounces. The 8R is 9.1 ounces with the extended battery. If you don't get that, it's 7.9, so 0.6 ounces lighter with just the standard battery. Let's see here. Oh, weatherproofing. The 7R is the radio that will stand through more weather, more rain. It's built super tough. I mean, you look at the battery component. Let's open it up here. The battery component itself is sealed. It has a little rubber gasket that goes around the sides of the battery, seals that off. Super tough unit. However, the 8R is still submersible. I think it's just, instead of 3 meters for 30 minutes, I think it's 1 meter for like 10 minutes. I've been in plenty of rainstorms with the 8R. I haven't gone swimming with it, but for a marine use or wet weather use, the 8R will suit your needs. One more thing about the difference between the two. The menus. The menu navigation between the two is much easier in the 8G. It also has more available memories and the memory depth. I mean, for each channel that you enter, you only have 10 characters for the name in the 7R, but you have 16 in the 8G. Let's turn this on real quick. And the reason that matters is I like to label mine. So depending on where I am in the state, I don't enter in the access codes, access tones into the channel, because I never know where I'm going to be, and I hate having to turn it off in one county to only have to turn it back on another. So I write the name. Let's find a channel here. Okay, so in Utah, if you're in Summit County, your CTCS code is 100, but if you're in Utah County, it's 131.8. You are very limited in your menu names for the 7R. A lot of the names that I had entered into here, I can enter into here. I'm kind of running out of time. I like to keep them around 10 minutes. I know it allows me to go further than that. Overall, between the two, if you're looking for radios, functions, weather functionality, 7R is really going to beat the 8R. They're priced about the same right out the bat. If you buy the extra battery, this is going to be, the extra battery is about $100. I'm sorry, about 60 to 70 bucks. So you're going to be about $100 more. If you buy, you'll want to buy an extra battery for your 7R as well. Radio functionality is pure voice radio functionality. Whether the 7R is going to beat it, but what the 8G has, I'll get more into the specifics when I do a pure 8G review, is the GPS. And what the benefits of using this backpacking, I'm not going to be able to pick up a signal here, is beaconing. You have, instead of having to take two pieces of electronic equipment which are heavy, backpacking, you can limit it. You can take both of those and put them down into one. Having the internal GPS, I really like the beaconing because I can quickly get weather information. I can get station repeater information of where I'm at in the area. I can also do call sign to call sign messaging. A lot of these digipeaters are linked into the internet, and I can do call sign to call sign messaging anywhere in the world as long as their radio's on and my radio is transmitting. I can do calls, send messages to friends and coworkers in California, Ohio, Maryland, Europe, you name it. I have had some friends over in Afghanistan set up some digipeaters there. I personally will bring my own equipment over there the next time I go so that I can have my own. As long as I have an internet connection, I can communicate anywhere in the world with this handheld. I'll also be picking up a HF radio where I'm not going to be limited to internet or... Anyway, closing. Love the 8G, love the 7R, but because of the GPS, this beats it. Thanks for watching.